last week, we got the demo from Zoltan.
This was a week before?
Nope, we got the demo from Zoltan. And what was it about?
Login as anybody.
The what?
The login. Yeah, login as anybody module.
Oh, login. Okay, yeah, login.
That was a fake Zoltan.
Not the Zoltan, that's what I. Oh, it's I just put it there. Oh, so stupid. Okay. And we talked about harvest. Victoria was there. We talked about the system text and branch that we were about to merge. Day 6, 2024. We will have demos.
Something like that.
Oh, we have something like that. Done.
Yeah, thank you. That's accurate.
And we'll see later what's up. Where's the status? I clicked on what is there. Orchard 1. Orchard 1. Nothing new. We did some triage. We want to get some PRs. We'll see next week. Orchard core. This was merged. So I just don't want that much anymore. 30 here. Make trigger event return workflow execution context. Documentation. Make the public async blah. So many arguments. Was changed to return task. I'm the workflow execution context. So a list of workflow execution context. It's kind of sad. Let's see. So it was returning what was it returning before?
It was void.
It was void, so it was not. Now it's returning old context, so it's just better, right? However, what is sad is that because it's an async and we are returning an enumerable, and because we are using .NET 8, we might have returned I-weightable enumeration, the thing that you can for each async stuff, async for each. Because enumerable, the only thing you will be able to do is a for each. And so there is a new type that you can, and this way we could do yield return for all of them. That I don't know if it's useful, but that's the pattern when you return an enumerable from an async thing, like streaming the events. It won't change much, so that will be okay. Fixed string comparison changes. Yes, remember, Mike, you did a PR to fix all the suggestions. This one exactly here was like, oh, to alias invariant should be converted to.
Yeah, we should have added. Should have just added to stop that warning. I saw that reversion, so.
And it was breaking YesSql. Yeah, I was seeing some errors in the log. So yeah, this was breaking the query because YesSql doesn't understand equals with it could.
Yeah.
We need to teach it, but that's why it's just checking. No, check that this value is that thing. So we should not just follow that. Or maybe also, yeah, add a don't warn us about this thing, maybe.
But you didn't revert the entire PR, right?
No, I just fixed the bin
Okay.
for the two things that were wrong, the two changes that
Yeah,
were
yeah.
wrong.
Okay.
Clean up permission provider, more statics. File namespace. Let's check in the chat. Yes, we'll talk about it. Use read-only session when indexing content item. Though I don't think for, let's see, from what I remember, this part of the code shouldn't matter. Oh, it might matter. Let's see. Yeah, it might still matter, actually. Right. Okay, let's see. Does it matter? Oh, so stupid. I think I used the code.
The
no.
only difference here is that instead of having to cache it and then detach it, we just don't cache it to begin with.
Okay.
That's the difference.
That's why I thought that. Make sure it wasn't there. Okay, so we don't need to detach. We just say don't track. And you agree that with that, it's not added to the identity map internally, right?
Correct.
So I'm not even sure when I say that, but that's the goal. It's not added to identity map, so there is no first level cache to resolve the same reference if you load twice the same thing. And this way we don't track anything. There is no reference to the objects that we load. Or the queries.
So for those who don't know what that exactly does, this was added in YesSql, the latest version. If you need to create a session that pulls data for read only, and you know it's only a read only, like if you're pulling data to report on it, then this makes sense because it saves some internal caching. Just a little bit of a performance.
Save, and it might also save you, because if you load a lot of items, even with paging, like page by 10, and use the same session, all these, so it will do a query by 10 and will process them by 10. But 10 by 10 by 10, it will be added to the inner cache. And they will still be in memory. So they will be loaded by 10 and we will process them by 10. So it will be a smooth, like streaming the content, and you can show that in the UI and it won't block. But items will still be referenced by the session, all of them. By saying with tracking false, we are not keeping a reference. So once you are done with your 10 items, they can be collected by the GC. Otherwise, they can't, and you might just run out of memory or use a lot of memory. So paging is still required, and I believe you see it's still doing it, batch size, but it's also now not referencing, so it's better for memory. Another option would be to put the session inside the loop. Where was that before? Oh, it was resolving just the session. So yeah, another option would have been to do what you did, resolve the store, and create a session even with tracking. So in this case, it won't change anything. It won't have, you didn't need the with tracking false. And that's what I explained to you, Mike, when you did your Excel thing. Just put the session in the loop, such that for each loop, for each batch, you get a new session, then the session is released, and then the objects are released. And here, it will be exactly the same because you have a list of the items. So you reference the items. So if the session also references the items, same thing.
But when you do that, you're still increasing the size of what's being cached,
nope.
right?
Nope. Yes,
I mean, if it has to be released, it has to be garbage collected, right?
It doesn't matter at all, because you already have if you have 10 items, you already reference the 10 items with your collection here. It's just that the same 10 items are also referenced by the session, but the only cost you have is to add it to a dictionary. It's nothing. Adding 10 items to a dictionary is like 0.0 nanoseconds. You will still reference them, so there will be 2 routes to the objects, but 1 or 2 or 10, it won't be garbage collected. At the end of the loop, you release the session, you release the collection, then the objects will be garbage collected. So that's a different.
Yeah, but the fact that you have to keep, releasing it into the
you release
releasing, yeah. Every time you release it in the loop.
What?
I mean, if you create so if you create a session, right,
Yep.
in the loop, you're creating a session. Now you're pulling the data is cached into that session, and then at the end you're saying release. Sure, okay.
No. Don't say release.
Well, once it's going to automatically release, right?
Yes, but like this one, what do you do here? Publish content items. You have 10 items referenced. What do? You just let it go away, and the GC will collect it.
Correct. But the only difference is that when you don't do a read only, it's going to add even more. It's going to cache more internally in the map, which I think is a dictionary, but still.
That's what I'm saying. You're just adding 10 pointers to a dictionary. That's all you do. 10 pointers. Doesn't do more. And that's why I said the only difference is 10 pointers to the dictionary. It's 0.01 nanosecond. That's the only thing that costs you time. Adding 10 things in the dictionary. That's the only difference. Yes, it's more. It's more by nothing. So
I mean, it could. Well, maybe, but like in this right here, if you have a lot of content items that's being indexed, it's pulling a lot, right? So each batch is 100.
Doesn't matter. Tell me 1 million. You have 1 million objects in memory with that thing. Even with your solution, you have 1 million objects in memory pointed by that collection here. So having them also in the session doesn't matter, because this 1 million will be alive whatever in memory at a time t. And then on the next loop, you get another million, and the previous million will be garbage collectible, even or with or without the fact that you put with tracking or you put a new session there. It's the same thing. So either you agree with me or you miss something, because it's exactly the same thing. That's what I was suggesting to you. So it's a little bit better to do a with tracking and use it, but so little that this thing is good. It's this code here, this PR is good. The same solution could have been done without the with tracking by putting the session in blue. It should have been done this way since the beginning. So that's a good change. I'm just providing you a different option that didn't require with tracking.
Yeah, no, I'll follow you. I'm looking at the map, data map, trying to see all the things that it index in there.
Yeah, IDs.
Yeah, it looks like there's 3 dictionaries in there.
Mm-hmm.
One,
but it's nothing. I mean, you're just adding things to a dictionary. You're not even querying. It doesn't matter. The goal here is to not store the objects in memory for a long time, and that's solved by creating a new session or doing that. So it's just peanuts. Like, you can benchmark it, you will see a difference. Who will see the difference? You, by looking at the number. Nobody else will see any difference at all, because there's a database query that will take a few milliseconds. Okay, and the operation is nanoseconds, not even microseconds, nanoseconds. So the delta is 1 millionth of this operation. So that's wrong, and it didn't require this one. In this case. This one is even better, great, but we could have done that before the YesSql change. The same. We are just pinching. That's okay. Okay, so thank you. Next change, wrong placement is applied. I think we merged it on Thursday. Wasn't there a unit test with that? No, but the code looked good. Oh yeah, first, second. Yeah, okay, it's the combining of the placement that was wrong. So Magnus mentioned that. So now it's a better combination of the position, failovers, and everything. Okay. MySQL database name configurable. This one is not done. So this one allows. So is there a review? Did you create a review? No. There is a new setting. So database name that can be set to define a custom name. Also, there is a new default. So for existing site, the name is the same. It's still YesSql.db, lowercase. Nobody ever complained about it. And now the new name is. What is the new name? Can you see?
And the setup service, orchardcore.db,
It's still
all the way to there.
orchardcore.db, Pascal case, because it looks nicer. And so the new sites will have orchardcore.db, and the existing ones will keep the same. That's the change. And if you want a custom name, you go in the app settings and you can provide your custom name. That's the change. That works. It's backward compatible, so all good. Fixed sitemap timestamp format. Fix it. And oh yeah, this one, because what was the context? Content type is in the sitemap. The date was rendered with a dot sometimes here. It's because this one here, you see, was not sending invariant culture. And in some cultures, so first, this pattern is culture sensitive. And in some culture, the colon is replaced by a dot, and that will break the XML format of the sitemap, and Google will not parse it. So it was missing that. And I believe that right after I looked at other places where we're calling toString with the same or similar format, and I found a few of them that were not doing the same thing, so we will have the same issue. Fortunately, it's in a code that I'm not even sure anyone is using anymore, the XML preset writer, which is a way to use a blog editor, like LiveWriter, to edit your blog post using this format, XML exchange format. That's interesting to find these bugs and to understand how it works. Fixing rules UI, fixed layer rules UI. So UI. Oh, is it the thing that the buttons were going all over the place?
Yes.
I saw that. Add guidance when connecting to SQL Server using untrusted certificate. Thank you. So, invite certificate. Oh, it returns an exception on our message. Okay. It's from an untrusted source, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Is what you need to do. Interesting, because you're right here. This is a technical value that is independent of the language of the sentence. So this should be parameterized. Good. Next level localization. Unsupported provider, like certificate.
Yeah, I don't like that either, but there's no specific error code or specific exception. So I just had to target that.
That will work with the English systems. It's possible that this exception is translated also in the language.
I mean,
So,
there is no like a code that it's utilizing where I can say, okay, if the code is XYZ, then
maybe actually if you look at the source code for this exception, you will see that they are using a class that returns the string, and you might be able to point to this string, same constant. It's possible. I'm not sure, but it's possible. And it's very easy to check, actually. So first thing to check is using this one by looking at the text and looking for C#. And I can't find it. So probably, so it's also Microsoft SQL client. Go away. Copilot, go away. Stop. Back here. This one. Where is that thing coming from? I'm confused. It's a SQL exception. Oh no, maybe it's not SQL that. Oh, maybe SQL wraps the exception. It's not coming from that, but maybe from the socket itself, the socket class that connects to the system, the SSL string that says that validates certificate. So maybe SQL doesn't have anything to say about it.
Yeah, it's probably the adapter.
So yeah, inner X. No. So SQL will create a DB connection, and a DB connection is a socket instance or an SSL string instance, which is part of the runtime. And that's why it's an inner exception, because they catch an exception in SQL, which is coming from the runtime itself. And they say, we got an exception, so wrap it in a SQL exception, and this is an inner exception. So maybe the inner exception has a type that is better, or some properties that we could check. And that will come from the runtime. It doesn't like big string like this, but it probably is in the runtime. It would be that thing actually. Runtime or a Windows DLL. Yeah, a Windows DLL security status. What is that thing? Or a native library, C#. Okay, yeah. See, Win32 SSPI. So it's a Windows native library that is throwing this exception. So yeah, probably maybe it's just in English, whatever. It'd be interesting to see the type of this inner exception if you saw that, and that might help actually this one. Okay, good. Security certificate issue because now it's enabled by default and people who connect locally don't have a certificate. So at least now they will know that we need to set trust certificate false. What you say, you have the options to use.
You can also disable it.
Is it right what you write here? You have the option to use the parameter in your connection string to bypass the validation performed. And what you say is use trust certificate by true. It should be false. No, isn't it? It's either trust certificate.
Oh yeah, it should be false. Yeah.
Or enable security equals false equals true, or the other one enable.
Yeah, it should be false.
Okay, maybe false. Yeah.
Oh no, trust. Yeah, it should be true because you're saying trust it. So ignore the validation.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's totally right. Yeah, trust certificate. Yeah. But it means there is one. So maybe the option would be to disable security, whatever. Does it work for you just by adding that if you use SQL Server locally?
Yeah.
Right. I thought the local SQL Server will not have any certificate.
It would have a self-assigned one.
Yeah. Okay. Good then.
Yeah. So that's why you need that because it's not trusted.
Okay. Skip DeleteObjectsAsync. There are no items to delete. Amazon. Okay, that's good. I'm ready. Implemented GraphQL query for reading current items. Some new feature from George von Price. There is a new GraphQL object to export, which is a current user. So it will give you your own information if you are authenticated, and custom settings just for you. Update HtmlLocalizer, remove mutant soft. You talked about it last week. It has been merged. Thank you, Mike. Imagine it. And all the things you need to change in your code. And so far you found one bug. I'm amazed that only one bug was found. I feel that it would be like a stream of issues everywhere. This one fixed.
Yeah, there is a weird one, but it's not. Well, it's not actually in the code yet.
Okay.
But it will be. Like trying to add a custom type is not an easy task. So yeah, we have to look at it a little bit and see.
Enable reading request body from HTTP request. So in the API controller, when you execute a custom query, you could do a get with parameters in the query string. And now you can do a post, in which case it will use the body of the request for the parameters. As JSON, which is important. Please update, fixes, typos, and everything. Name of diamond crop. One of the most prolific open source contributors in .NET. Have you seen his profile? If you don't know Simon properly.
Yeah, I was quite surprised.
So for those who don't know Simon crop, is it like this? Yeah. First, look at this chart, okay? Not judging, that's a lot. And each of these points is like 167, 14, 6, 18, 18. Okay, if I do one, I'm happy. And the projects he maintains, like he participates in a lot of projects, but he maintains. So this one, Polyfill also is a great contributor doing all the HTTP resilience. There is one I found recently. Poly is one. No, Polyfill is one that provides C# polyfills for previous versions. Which one is the one I found of his repositories? Something that generates code or IL? What was that? There are so many of them he participates that I can't even find it. But whatever, just saying, like, I'm not even surprised that now he's finding stuff to do with 3 different PRs. So nameof here. Of course, that's compile time in this case. Collection expressions. Oh. Who merged it?
I merged this one.
Because you hate me?
No, because I missed that part.
Because you liked it? Oh, you missed it?
No, because actually it pissed me off because I thought I did the same thing. There was another PR that did exactly the same thing.
These ones.
And it seems like some of these were missed somehow.
So actually, I
That's why I asked you earlier, did you revert the entire PR?
oh no, I read too fast then because the things I don't like, no, is that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I hide that, nobody knows in this room what this thing does. And you even changed the editor config, right, for that?
Yeah, correct. So it doesn't suggest it anymore. It doesn't mean you can't use it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't suggest it.
Well, but that's why you changed it, because it was suggesting some alternative value suggestions. That
Yeah.
was the safety net. But, this I'm fine with that. Okay, new collection with this entry, but the dot thing. Well, it will take me a few years to get used to that. The same way I had to get used to the label operators.
Yeah, there was another PR that would just make things not readable. That one was closed.
Well, this one is there. This is good. This is better for perf actually, because in this case it's doing a where on all the methods, returning the full collection that is matching, and then takes the first one. This one, it will take the first one that matches that. So that's better. I didn't know about that. Same thing, ordering everything, but yeah, you still need to do that. Not ordered, should be ordered. Antoine, you would have cringed when you look at it now. You need to fix it. It's not ordered. I believe we want it ordered, because we need to be able to find people easily. Is it the case, Antoine? Sure now. Maybe not. It's not ordered. It's just, yeah, last. Okay, I didn't say anything. NullStringLocalizer and HtmlLocalizer public, just for people who want to use them in their own test. The localization library. Change how AdminMenu register and remove swapping errors into full serialize. This is the bug we found with JSON serialization. And you also added a helper method to do that. I on purpose didn't add anything like that. I didn't want to make too much magic.
Yeah, but yes.
We did the magic.
But look at their. So for example, this file right here, you register in the wrong place, right? Not, I mean, it doesn't really add any harm, but
this one,
it kind of confuses. Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
Because it's not wrapped, which makes sense. I mean, like, why do we need to register 10 things if we're adding a note, or explain that into the documentation? So having a helper in this case kind of makes sense, because, you know, in the documentation, you can just say add this line instead of having add this. But I know what you mean by not hiding, so you can see everything, but yeah, it just clutters.
I think the name is bad though, because it says AdminMenu, and that confuses me. Like, is it adding an AdminMenu, or is it adding an AdminMenu
Maybe
item?
it should be a node.
Yeah, something like that.
Admin,
or a type of something, you know, menu item, node type, or whatever. But AdminMenu is confusing because it means too many things. You just kept the one that was existing. I think there was an AdminMenu.
Yeah, the one that you used. I just used that.
Okay, thank you. So it's fixing it, but the fix was actually in the loop that you said. Yeah, the cast was wrong. It was casting, and then that would make things break. Yeah, so it's fixing it.
Well, the casting would work because it's still an instance of menu item, but then the type of returns an invalid value.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, it was interesting. I didn't expect it to fix it.
Identity.Web update. Okay, all good. Questions, comments? First topic before Zoltan's magic topic, or whatever, what is that? Something like that. Website is down. Antoine, I tried to reach you. Do you own the domain? Because DNF says they don't own it. And it's hosted on OVH.
Yeah, I own it.
So can we fix it, domain? You were there, right, on Thursday morning when we mentioned that the issues that DNS is pointing to the IP which has changed the measure, and we should try to point to the CNAME instead. So there is a www that is correctly configured. And if you got the configuration, it's a CNAME of something. So if you could do the same thing for also.NET to point to the same CNAME, then it should just, then I will be able to reissue certificate automatically. Because right now it's failing because it says the settings for orchardcore.net, they don't match the host. So it doesn't want to generate the certificate. That's why it failed. So I ping you on Skype and Teams. So please look at that if you can.
Can't we move that and the domain as well to Cloudflare or something? It's also a domain registrar. Sorry?
Move the domain?
Yeah, and offload the HTTPS certificate generation to Cloudflare.
So the certificate works fine to me. It didn't work last time we were using Let's Encrypt, but for the last year we've been using it from Azure, and it just failed because of the domain, not because of Azure. So Azure supports your auto renew, and it worked very well for the www one because this domain was correctly registered, and it's been registered every 6 months. Well, automatically we've seen that, and so this one works. So I don't know why we would try to change it. Then the domain is owned by Antoine. Maybe DNF owns some other Orchard domain, but this one is owned by Antoine. So try.orchard.net and orchard.net, orchardcore.net are owned by him.
Shouldn't this be owned by DNF, by the way?
Maybe, I don't know. He was the first one to register it because he was thinking about it and he did it. So I don't mind. Either way, I know also that when we want to reach DNF, they take a few days before answering. So sometimes it's also a pain. I don't know.
Yeah, that's well. I think that the domains, just as any asset related to Orchard Core, should be owned by DNF, but that doesn't mean that they should manage it. So we should still be able to manage it, like the DNF settings, which again, with something like Cloudflare is given. So that shouldn't be an issue.
That or there are multiple people being able to configure it.
That would actually be possible with Cloudflare. So you can have multiple owners, administrators of an account who can do everything related to that account.
Yeah, but maybe also the OVH portal lets us do that. Like if Antoine allows multiple administrators for this domain, then we'll be able to configure it and own it and pay for it. Because he pays for it.
That as well. Actually, perhaps DNF should pay for it.
Yeah. I'm not sure how, if they don't own it, how they will pay for it. It's a French thing. I don't care. Honestly, I'd be better paying $50 a year or 100 for that instead of just having to ping DNF all the time to have them do something.
Okay, well, it's actually something like $8 a year, so that shouldn't be an issue.
And yeah, so the same way we do for Cloudsmith, right? It's just something on the web, and we are multiple to have access to it for fallbacks. Same thing for the NuGet packages. So now there is an org, and we can add anyone to that. So yeah, Antoine, if you're okay to give us some account to access the domain, if that's possible with OVH, if we need to change it.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure I can collect it right now. If you want, at the end of the meeting, we can see it together, and I will show you.
Okay, thank you. We'll do that tomorrow. If you can just fix it, because I have something to do after the meeting, if you can just fix it, like look at the entry and do the same thing for the Orchard project.net entry. Otherwise, there is an IP address to use. I'll give it to you on the chat. So that's the website. Topics. Sultan?
Yep. Just a sec. Let me share my screen. And even before that, let me hide my very sensitive taskbar. Sorry, I just. Okay, and now you should be able to see it. So yeah, not much of a demo, just a showcase. So as I actually demoed a couple of weeks ago, I was working on adding such community metrics reports to Orchard Core, so we can see how quickly we are responding to issues, pull requests, discussions, how quickly these are closed or otherwise completed. And now we have the first actual report, because as a test at that time I generated it for December, and now since the pull request was merged, this is automatically being generated every month, the first day of the month. So now we have it for January 2, and well, here are the results. Just as I said last time, I think it's the numbers are awesome. So it's something that these numbers are like that pale enterprise projects, very high, like SLAs for response times. But yeah, we had a day on average when somebody responded to issues. In January, it was quicker, even though the median is a little bit higher. Still, the issues were very quick to close, actually much quicker, apparently, than it was in December. Well, December is a slow month. Most of the issues this time were also closed, so that's also great. And there are also details about specific issues, of course. And we have similarly good metrics for pull requests, actually. Much quicker everything all around. It's well, yeah. Usually a lot of pull requests being opened, a lot more than in December apparently, because, well, yeah, something like a third more in January. Still, everything is great. And as far as discussions go, similarly, numbers I think are very nice. So I won't do these every month. Of course, everybody can just read these metrics. I will bring up topics based on these metrics if I see anything interesting. But so far, good job everyone who is responding to issues, discussions, reviewing pull requests, because these are some very good numbers. Now these are of course just the overview numbers, and what's less apparent here is that there are still, of course, discussions that nobody replies to, issues that nobody replies to, pull requests that nobody reviews. I'm still working through the old pull requests to get rid of our backlog there. And next, as I mentioned, I will also work on adding some automation related to that and document some rules that we are otherwise already following to make new contributors aware and make the whole pull request experience better for everyone. Because somebody contributing something small like a typo or a few lines of code today might become a very important contributor tomorrow. And we can, by being diligent with contributors, we can foster that kind of progression. Yeah, numbers are great, and that's the bottom line here. Not just good, great.
Thank you. And that reminded me about something that I saw this week. So on YesSql, so there was this issue, and I didn't reply to this issue, which was they use YesSql to create an index and an object, and they say, oh, the table don't exist. Right? And yeah, in YesSql, you have to create the tables, but there is an API for that. And then there was a comment like 2 days ago, same for me, and nobody answered this, PT. And I'm like, I had 2 answers in mind. Like first, I didn't want to answer, and also I wanted to answer like some insult, but no, I didn't. So I answered the issue. Yeah, just look at the samples and you will see how you can do that. I should close it by the way. It just reminds me that, like, yeah, there are some issues that were pending for a long time and I didn't answer. Someone reminding me to answer, but what I didn't like is the fact that they expected some answer. I just wanted them to answer by themselves, but no, I answer them. Any other topics?
There is a couple PRs that are marked need steering. Maybe you should just quickly look at.
It's steering the best ones.
Yes.
How is that true? It's not here. Oh, that's true. I just click there. We have a link. Source. The mixed steering. Dude, wow.
What's the difference between needs steering and needs triage?
The needs triage is that we are waiting for someone to give feedback, and this one is like we need someone to agree on the solution, like to vote, like, do we want that or not?
Okay.
Like, we need a vote, like maybe 2 people don't agree, or there is no. Yeah, we don't know what to do for that, and we need to say we take it. We don't.
Like it's a good PR to review now, like on Tuesday, on this meeting. We're not looking at code. We're just looking at concept.
Okay, yeah, this is a strong want from me.
So this one is correctly tagged, or is just review the code?
I don't know who tagged it.
I tagged it.
Steering.
Okay, so where's the issue? Stock estimate go around. And obviously, when it says need steering, we need people that could express opinions. Okay, such as if nobody cares, I mean, we could say they don't take it because nobody cares, or we take it because nobody cares.
Yeah.
So stock estimate go around. Template attribute can only be used for front-end routes because you can't patch any topics to it. Okay, so you are forced to configure the route module startup like this. That's the name of the route. We don't care. Area name. Okay, to find the module pattern. What? Oh, if you want to create a custom route for the admin, that's weird. Is it true? We do that everywhere?
Not actually exactly that, but if you take a look at the delta, you will see what we are doing because there's Shara fixed one instance of this in one module. And it's actually that, yes. Oh no, sorry. It's not that. That's she copy pasted the wrong thing. But it's so in all the module startups you build a pattern of such admin URLs with the admin options, admin URL prefix config, and because of that, we have all these repeated route definitions. Take a look at the startup. There's nothing in the controller.
What we do today is a process. In this case, we don't do anything here. We don't do routes.
It's in the startup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was looking if we had some attributes, and then the startup we do routes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
With MVC, that HTTP post attribute, you can provide pattern to it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it
these
works.
here. These.
So here you see, I don't see any replace. It's just admin right prefix plus the thing you want.
Yeah,
Still.
she copied the wrong thing. This is the pattern. This is the correct pattern.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised. Okay, so this is not a replace. We have a prefix to. I remember when we had the prefix. Okay, and this one is configurable, right? It's part of the settings. It's an option. Okay. Then solution where we have the admin. So this is kind of so where you admin attribute and the admin.
Yeah. Basically, this allows attribute routing for admin routes.
Admin is doing, yeah, so that I didn't remember we had an option. I knew that this one is to define that the controller on action is for the admin. So it's also preventing access if you don't have the permission. And this one we can do, okay, interesting, which is the same as route admin. Okay, beautiful. So that is nice, right? Oh, this is what I did. Okay, so let's see. Admin area controller route mapper. Okay. But first, I don't want to focus on the code. I want to focus on the feature that is that something that we need for it. So far, I've changed the routes. What should I call that users? Okay, so why is it tagged? It's steering, Mike. Is it bad?
No, I think what it is that, it's just trying to find out if there's something we should do before she does it all over the place.
So my only concern is that that's a good thing to have. Should the admin attribute with the thing? Should it be done everywhere? I don't know because first today it works, and the fact that it's centralized somewhere, that's also nice. I like it. It's like, to me, it's like the service pattern here, the fact that we do as scoped instead of adding an attribute to this thing saying the attribute-based discovery of the service instead of calling at scoped. The same thing that we had in Node 1 versus that. Because this way I know all the services that are registered and where and how. And here I see all the routes that are available. So I can discover them this way instead of looking at the controllers. It's not much harder. It's different. You can't compare it to this one because this one is a different file, so it's hard to find them. These ones, they are in controller classes. So like in this case, 3 classes, and I believe everything will be there. So that's not hard to find. I'm not sure we should replace the current one, so this should be the default to use the attribute. I also don't like the thing that are special to Ultra, like this special method to add the services. I like when it looks like an ASP.NET app. You don't have to learn yet another concept to do something that you can do in MVC. Here you have to learn the prefix, even though you could say it's optional, but we want it. So I like the attributes, and I would question the fact to replace all of them with the attribute.
I think yes. I don't think it's more intuitive to look up routes in startup classes as opposed to the controllers where they are actually taking effect. But do note that the old way will still be available. So this is not mandatory.
Oh,
you can use attribute routing or not.
yeah, but there is the old way is available, and what people see and will have to do. And like, how do you find out that discoverability? Like, if you don't see it, you don't see it. Like, how do you know it's somewhere else? Like, if you look at the startup and you see, oh, this is how you register a route. Like, this is like ASP.NET. This thing is not like ASP.NET.
Yeah, it is almost, because in ASP.NET you can put HTTP post and give it that same pattern right in the HTTP post. So you can do it either way.
Well,
But you don't have. What's that?
Or do the route attribute. This is MVC, sure.
Right.
The admin attribute is not.
Yeah,
MVC.
the admin, correct. Yeah, but it's similar, right? So it's not.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same
yeah.
concept, but it's a new concept. It's something that people won't know what it does. I just trying to find all the arguments. I like it. In the end, I think it looks nice if I look at the code. It's okay.
I think removing boilerplate is always great. Do you think it would help if it was the route attribute, as in MVC, and also the admin attribute taking effect at the same time, if that's possible? I think it would be slightly. So yeah, basically you have the route attribute, but if you also have the admin attribute, then it modifies its behavior, if that's possible. That would be more MVC-like.
And also, I mean, today you have to know that you have to name your controller admin today in order for it to appear.
That's the convention,
so
yeah.
Okay. So it's by convention. So
can I will ask something, maybe it's already working. Can we also have it to work on the controller to define, like in the route attribute, the prefix?
So it does.
It does. Okay, I will. Is it written there?
I'm not sure, but it's written on the in the inline docs.
Okay.
On the attribute.
Let me see it there. If it's there, then admin attribute. I have to do it time.
You need to go to the attribute class.
And the class also, so doing that. Patterns. Okay, patterns. So it's reading all of them. So when they are read, what is it done? Control attribute. Voice. Control attribute. Okay. Action attribute. I think it's taking one of them. I don't see it being combined. If there is an action attribute, it's taking it. Otherwise, if there is a control attribute, it's taking it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it should behave the same way as route. So okay, yeah, so we agree. It's good. okay for everything. Something else that is even more work, and that might be better in the end for the product, would be to migrate to minimal APIs, or to try to have a module that's using minimal APIs instead of MVC, because it would be faster in particular. Good.
So that's like an orthogonal idea, no?
Yes.
So we can have both.
I just thought about that when I saw this change. It might be something to look into. Okay, not time. I have to go. Anton, I send you the IP address if the CNAME doesn't work. Thanks everyone. See you on Thursday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry,
Thank you.
Sebastian. Was there a developer meeting last Thursday?
Yes.
And it's the same URL as this one?
Yes, 10 a.m. London time, which means 18 UTC. So 7 p.m. Paris, probably 8 p.m. for you.
Oh, so it's earlier.
9 p.m. Paris, so 10 p.m. for you. Antoine, that's it.
So it's later. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
that's why I didn't get it.
No, sorry. 10 a.m. meaning 7
Wait.
p.m. Paris, 8 p.m. for you.
It's also 7 p.m. for us.
No, wait. Okay, what is
Whatever.
it for your local time zone?
Look at the website.
2 hours before this one, basically.
Yeah. 2
Oh,
hours
okay,
before.
okay.
Whatever
Okay,
it
so
is
it's
that time.
yeah, I see. 10 a.m. for you is 7 p.m. for me. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Was
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye bye.